my dad passed away on my 80th birthday. And this is something that I usually don't talk about, just because I know that people will have that, oh, you know, like, I feel so sorry for you. He was an alcoholic, and the last years of his life he spent some time at home and some time in rehab. So me and my family would go and visit him. He was very lovely. But yeah, so on my birthday, I didn't know what was going on. I honestly, until this day, I just don't know what I thought, but exactly what I thought was, I just saw so many people coming to the house, because basically my dad collapsed at home. So I was just sitting on the staircase, and someone came to me to say that, because I was actually asking, are these people here for me? You know, and I think, you know, everybody was there for my birthday, which was not the case. But it was to come and comfort my mom and me and see if we were okay. And someone's just telling me, they're not for you. You know, your dad passed away. So yeah. There was that blank space in my life, whether unconsciously I chose to block it. Whatever was before and after him. I do remember the times that we hung out together, and after he passed away, I think what took me through, what made it less painful in a way, was my mom just embraced that role of being the father and the mother. And I don't know if that's possible. And obviously I did have my challenges, you know, because as any girl, you want your dad to be there. You know, you want to know that you're loved. You want him to pick you up, you know, and exactly as he did when he was alive. And all of a sudden that person is not there, and you don't understand what is going on, but you know there is something missing.
Sure.
And the way that even though I had my mom's love, the way that I found to cope with it is whenever things were not going the way that I wanted, I would just think, if Dad was here, things would be different. And I really somehow started comparing my life to other children's life. So I would think that the children who had a dad were happier than me. They had the perfect house. They had, you know, they would be more successful. They would, you know, have the better relationships. So I think a lot of comparison, even if I didn't want to, it really happened. And I always feel like I had to catch up with other people. So I think this is how it really affected me. And at home, the story was so different, because my mom is just amazing. She invested in me, in love and financially, as I think every parent should, you know. I think that's how parenthood should be like. And so I never lacked that love from her. And I think that's what made my life much more beautiful and much easier. And having my relatives there as well, making that that part of my life, you know, kind of isn't that pain for me.
Sure.
And I think, so I think that love was just crucial. I just think that moms have that beautiful way, or I can say parents have that beautiful way of making things perfect and beautiful, even though things are not the way that you want them to be. My mom was like, you just focus on what you think you should focus, you do what you think you should do. But at the same time, I had that pressure of society that no, you should do this. And I think that's the society that I lived in, and it was really challenging. And I did make poor decisions because I just, I think it was because of that, because I didn't have that person next to me to kind of to say, oh, you're my little girl, you know, and you can do this, even though Mom was saying, I just think, he was, you know, like, he's one of the most important people in my life, and all of a sudden he was not there anymore. And I grieved that for such a long time. And so I think it might be weird for people to see that I'm not that emotional now, but I grieved for such a long time. I put so much pressure on me. Like, I was only 8, but I still felt guilty for his death. I felt like if only he knew how much we loved him, he wouldn't have drunk so much to kill himself. You know, because for me, I felt like he committed suicide, even though he didn't. I was like, why did he have to drink so much? Didn't he love us enough? Were we not enough? So that for me just made me feel like I'm not good enough, because my dad just pretty much killed himself. You know, he drank to death because he couldn't live here. So yeah, that was really challenging to kind of build my self-esteem, and going through counseling, it was really helpful. And then I had to face my mom and ask those questions that sometimes you don't want to go there, and ask, can you tell me a bit more about my dad? My dad. And I remember this time when I went back home, I was really depressed, and I asked her, can you tell me a bit more about Dad? What did he think about me? And it was just so beautiful. She just turned to me and she was like, oh, he was crazy about you. And that was just so beautiful. And I just loved that. She did that. And yeah, and so I think just receiving that love from my family and just know that he loved me, it just made the journey easier.
Thank you.
You have to grieve. It's just not someone, is that special person in your life that you feel is not going to be back there. But it's just like finding how can you celebrate that life whilst you are still here. You know, that person might be gone, but you're not. You know, and if you think about what they would say to you, you know, they want you to have the best life that you could have. If they were alive, they would want you to have the most beautiful life. They would want you to be joyful. They wouldn't want you to be grieving forever. And they understand and they love you. And we all grieve different. And I think this is for me the main thing. It's just like, yeah, there is grief, there is pain, but there is a way out. And I know it's not easy, and I'm just saying this because I've been through that. But yeah, I can just encourage you that there is a way out. There is joy and there is life there, just one step at a time. And yeah.
Hey everyone, this is the last episode for this scene, so how about in the next 7 days you look back over the 7 episodes to remind yourself of anything that resonated with you. Our hope is that perhaps you can be encouraged by one of the women's stories, or something that was mentioned in one of the group discussions, or perhaps one of the words of encouragement towards the end. We look forward to you joining us next Thursday for a brand new theme, but in the meantime, stay encouraged.